Hey there everybody, Palor here, and welcome back. Today I'm going to start off my first episode of what I think I'm going to turn into the Palor Ponders series. This is going to be where I am going to ponder over a certain subject, element, question, something going on in the video game industry. To begin with, in the background you're going to see some footage from Darksiders 2. This is obviously the sequel to Darksiders 1, originally from THQ, who are now out of business. The license has been picked up by a new company, and they're considering making more of them. Overall, the game is pretty good. It is a mix of God of War hack-and-slash style combat with some, I would almost say, Legend of Zelda type world design. So you have sort of an overworld with dungeons located outside on that world in different locations. Each dungeon tends to require a certain special item to get through. Either you need to learn a super punch in order to break a wall, or you got to get a hook slash thingy in order to swing across and traverse a certain area. So the dungeons are locked until you get these items. There's a leveling system, there's an equipment system. All in all, they're a pretty solid game. The combat for a hack and slash is average, but we don't get a whole lot of these on PC, much less tied with that exploring dungeon diving type design. They've been out for a little while. I wouldn't run out and get them, but if you see them on sale, definitely give a look at both this and the original prequel. They're pretty good. The second one has its own independent story, but it does draw and follow up. It is a direct sequel to the first one. Now, the subject for today is going to be EA Access. If you have not seen this, EA is basically starting their own subscription program on Xbox One alone. It is currently only on that. I imagine if it's successful, we're going to see something similar to it on PC. Sony has claimed they don't want it on PlayStation. They believe it's not a good enough value. If I had to guess, the only reason for this is they were unable to come to negotiating terms with EA in order to get their numbers worked out. As we know, for Xbox, everyone that is going online has Xbox Live. It is a plus. Where PlayStation Plus is very common now, it is not required yet for that system. So, excuse me. I'm guessing that was a holdup, and then as a spin move, they're saying, well, it's not a good value, we can't pull this off. Again, I believe if it's a solid success on Xbox One, we will see something similar to this, if not the exact port of it, over to PlayStation. And also PC, like I've already said. So, what is it and what all do you get? Well, it is $5 a month or $30 for the entire year. And with it, you get, they're calling basically three benefits. You get the Vault, Pay for Less, and Play First. The Vault is very similar to the PlayStation Plus games, the free games that come with each month. To start off with, it has 4 games in the Vault. That is Madden NFL 25, this year's Madden, FIFA 14, this year's FIFA. Well, by that I mean last year's FIFA, because we're about to get the new Madden, the new FIFA soon. The 15 and Madden 15 and FIFA 15 will be out before the end of 2014, obviously. They also get Battlefield 4 and Peggle. So football game, soccer game, Battlefield, Peggle. Those are your 4 free games at the beginning of it. They are talking that there will be more games added to the Vault, and if you have a subscription running active as those games get added, you will have access both to the old ones and the new ones. Again, very similar to the PlayStation Plus, where you'll get the new games, and as long as you continue to carry your PlayStation Plus, you'll always have access to all those games. If you let your subscription expire, you will lose access to those games. You're only getting rights to them, you're not owning them. But upon reacquiring your subscription, you'll then gain access again. However, any games that were released while you did not have access, you will miss out on. It's not entirely clear until we see how it actually plays out, but that is the way they're implying it's going to go. So that's the Vault. Then you have Play for Less. This is an across-the-board 10% discount on every game, every digital purchase you can get from EA. This is DLC and full-blown games on Xbox One, everything from your Madden, your Titanfall, your Plants vs. Zombies, 10% discount across the board. Lastly, Play First. This is going to be 5 days early access on select EA titles. The ones currently listed are NFL 15, well, they're all 15. NFL, NHL, FIFA, and NBA Live. So 4 of the 5 major sports games. There's no baseball in there. Then the big one is Dragon Age Inquisitions. 5 days early access to Dragon Age Inquisition. All of that for $5 a month or $30. Now, this is an interesting concept coming from EA. Obviously, we've seen Xbox Live is successful on Xbox. We've seen PlayStation Plus has become very successful on PlayStation. Became so successful, actually, that Xbox Live had to go back and start giving away free games in order to compete with PlayStation Plus. Now, to see EA try to do this, it's an interesting idea, but they have one severe disadvantage. Microsoft can limit what you can do online via the Xbox without Xbox Live. Sony can do the same thing. What can EA do? The only thing they can limit is absolutely nothing. Well, they can limit you from getting your 5 days early access or your 10% discount. But you can always go out and you can buy the games in the vaults. You can always still go out and buy the games on their launch day. They can't limit anything. They don't have you over a barrel, so to speak, like the console makers do. And I think that might actually be where they missed the mark here. Now, I think overall, this idea of putting your catalog together and selling the catalog at a discounted rate but a continual income rate is a good idea. We've seen something similar to this, like SOE, Sony Online Entertainment, their All Access Pass. The pass that gives you access to free station cash. You get the PlanetSide 2, you get all the EverQuest, EverQuest 1, EverQuest 2, you'll get EverQuest next when it comes out, you're going to get Landmark when it comes out, you're going to get all their games with one subscription plan. I believe that for them is a very good thing. I believe with the right value, this could be very good from EA also. I'm not entirely sure the value is correctly calculated out yet. Now, if you are a sports fan, well, let me correct that, a sports game fan, because they're different. I'm a sports fan. I'm a big sports fan. I'll watch just about any sport but baseball. But I don't play sports games, video games at least. If you're a sports video game fan, this is almost a no-brainer must-buy. You're going to be getting access via the vault to the older games. They're always going to be a year behind, but you're going to be able to get them. And that means you'll at least be able to stay relatively up to date rather than buying another $60 game each year to stay with Madden. You'll just be 1 year behind, but getting access to that. The problem's going to be for all the people that aren't the big sports video game fans. And that is where the value starts to fall a little short. If we take the sports games out of there, what do we have? Well, we have Battlefield 4, Peggle 2, early access to Dragon Age Inquisition, 5 days early, and 10% discount for $30. That's a tough one. That's a very tough one to sell. If you're not playing Madden, if you're not playing FIFA, if you're not playing NBA, the value of this drops significantly. And I think that's where they need to go back to the drawing board a little bit and just recalculate. First, they need to really figure out how often they're going to give games away. We talked about how it's very similar to PlayStation Plus. EA cannot quite match that. You know, PlayStation Plus, you're going to get 2, maybe 3 free games every month. I think it's 2 free games every month. One of them tends to be a pretty big AAA title, if a bit older. And then another one's kind of a smaller indie title. EA can't match that. EA makes a lot of games in a year. But if they start giving away 1 or 2 free games each month, they're going to have given away their entire catalog before a year and a half passes, or they're going to be porting over games from 2002 to Xbox One in order to give them away. That's not going to work. They're going to need to focus on giving away fewer games, but games still of value, where they're going to have to find that balance. If I had to guess, I'm going to predict they're going to give you 1 free game about every 3 months. So, now, in 3 months from now, what game they give us, we have no idea. And that's why, for now, I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm going to recommend everybody, don't buy the Vault right now. Do not buy EA Access. We got to give them 3-6 months, see how this is going to play out, see the value they're going to give us in order to move ahead. Now, if I was going to talk to EA, I would say right away, first of all, right in the vault, you got to throw a big, heavy-hitting title in there to draw people in and say, look, we are serious about this. Battlefield 4, in my opinion, is the only one that kind of stands out. Peggle's a fine game, but it could be an iOS game. I had the thing on my old PDF back when I was in high school some 12, 14 years ago. Peggle, throw that away. NFL 15, or NFL 25, FIFA 14. These games are good, but the big, heavy football fans, soccer fans, they've already bought them. So the only ones that are going to play this are going to be people that like the sports games but don't have enough to buy it each year. So you have a small niche base. Again, the only one that really stands out is Battlefield 4. Well, now let's look at Battlefield 4. Battlefield 4 probably has 4 or 6 months life left in it. And the people still playing it right now are mostly those that play premium. So they're not getting access to premium. They're going to get access to the base game, nothing else. We have Hardline coming out likely in February or March because it's been delayed. So by February or March timeframe, most of the player base is going to jump to the next Battlefield game, if it's good. Time will tell on that. So you're giving them access to one game that is about dead. It's not going to work. EA, you know what this needs? It needs Titanfall. Take your Xbox exclusive game that's not Xbox exclusive, but anyway, put Titanfall in this, and then you have some value. Sure, the first-person shooter's not for everyone, Titanfall's not for everyone, but it shows that you're serious. It shows that you're going to bring your big games over there, and you're going to take your loyal customers, and you're going to say, hey, thank you, have this good game. That is where they could have really set up some very good value with this right off the bat. And yeah, as I said, I think they've just undershot the value, or undershot the demand for FIFA 14 and then early access to NFL 15 and NHL 15. Obviously, if we look at the discount side, the pay for less side, the play for less, not pay for less, play for less, it's 10%. Clearly, if you buy 5 games at $60, boom, it's paid for itself. There's $30. If you buy 6, you've now saved $5 or $6. I can do math. But how many people buy 6 EA games a year? I'll admit I buy probably 2 or 3, not 6. And I buy more games than most anybody else I know. And I know there's definitely those out there that buy more than me, especially the big sports fans, but it's a very small group that are going to be able to look at that and say, wow, that's good value right there. And, yep. Now, I want to give EA a little bit of credit. EA got a new president about 4 or 6 months ago. And since then, we've actually seen EA start to make good strides. I say start because we don't know if they're going to follow through. We have seen them delay Dragon Age Inquisition. I mean, just think about that. EA does not delay games. Now, Dragon Age Inquisition was only about 5 weeks, so it's still in this holiday season. They haven't lost anything. We've seen them completely delay Battlefield Hardline right out of the holiday back into 2015. They're going into this holiday season without a big AAA first-person shooter to compete with Call of Duty. That is not EA's MO by any means. Why was Battlefield 4 such a mess? Well, a large reason it was such a mess was they had to put it out on a certain date in order to get those sales numbers for their sales figures for the holiday season. To see them move it back, it's a sign that maybe they might have finally realized that while they were doing pretty successful business, they were slowly killing off their own consumer base. They were driving players away from them. This is all hypothetical, just speculating, and they may prove me entirely wrong. But I think what they've finally done is they've brought in a president high up enough that, or a president that is well set up enough that he sees you might have to make 10% less this year by delaying this game, moving that game, not gouging the customer so much here, but in doing so you extend the longevity of the company. Because with how EA was going, they were very quickly going to become the next THQ. And let's just look at this. Look at this holiday season. If they had released Hardline the way it looked like it was going, it would have been another massive failure, as bad, maybe not worse, than Battlefield 4. Boom. There's the Battlefield franchise dead. Likely done completely, killed off like they did Dead Space. Dragon Age Inquisition. We had not seen any gameplay footage, and they've only pushed it back, again, 5 weeks. But they were showing almost nothing about this game. If this game had come out and been the same dungeons rehashed over and over again, like it happened with Dragon Age 2, might not have killed Dragon Age altogether, but it would have hurt them massively. And they would have burned all of these player bridges that were already on fire. They would have just been throwing gasoline on them at that time. And I think, again, cautiously optimistic, I think this new CEO has seen that this is an entertainment industry that revolves around high price items. To move high price entertainment items, you need to have some loyalty, some faith from your customers, and EA was losing that. Well, it was pretty much gone. Now, I don't trust EA yet. When the financial numbers roll out next year for this holiday season, if they're way down and they go ahead and they just remove this guy or they go back to the old practices, I wouldn't be surprised. But for the time being right now, they do seem to be trying some new interesting things. They seem to be trying some good things. This here, EA Access, in my opinion, it's an attempt in the right direction. It's an attempt at something new. It's an attempt at giving gamers good value. I just think they massively overestimate the appeal of Madden, FIFA, all of those things. I think they need to recalculate that out and put a more broad scope of games into the vault in order to appeal to a little bit of everyone, not just the sports video games fans. Well, let me know what you guys think of EA's vault, EA Access, the games in the vault and everything, and maybe what EA has been doing recently. This has been Palor. Thanks for watching.